Hey everyone, my name's Joe. I go by MTGJoeD, and I'm super excited to be bringing Batman Vengeance on the Nintendo GameCube to y'all. I'm joined here by a wonderful couch. You want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hi, I'm Fragmented Humanity. I'm not really a runner of this game, I'm more of a technician, but I've been helping Joe run this game in Discord and several other things.
And I'm AMegPie. I also don't run this game, but I know it very, very well. I've seen so many playthroughs of it.
Yeah, 5 years worth. So we're gonna come up here, and time is gonna start when we set our brightness. We get a chance here. If y'all wanna help me count down, how about a 5, 4,
3, 2, 1, go.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. So this game, Batman Vengeance, is a tie-in to Batman the Animated Series and the New Adventures of Batman and Robin, which was the kind of changeover in animation style they did a couple years into that show. It's a game that's really near and dear to my heart. It features all of the original voice cast from the show, which is incredible. So we have Mark Hamill, we have Arlene Sorkin, we have Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. And unfortunately, when you play New Game Plus, you don't watch the cutscenes. We're leaving one in as a treat for everyone, so we'll get to see that later. But they do a fantastic job. They try to imitate the animation style that went with that show, and it's just really cool being able to have that original voice cast. And speaking of Kevin Conroy, as we scoot away not looking at the fire, because we are cool guys, I just wanted to speak about him for a moment. He passed away a few years ago, and he was a huge hero of mine. He is like the most iconic voice of Batman ever, in my opinion. He's my Batman. He's many generations Batman, and I grew up looking up to him. I think he was a pinnacle of what it was to be just a badass and super masculine and cool. And I think it is really important to remember that, you know, Kevin Conroy was a gay man who believed that all of us belong in this world, and we all have a part to play, and we are all worthwhile, and it's worth living. And Batman literally says trans rights. So, yeah. Kevin Conroy is my GOAT, and I'm really glad that we get a chance here to celebrate him and listen to some of his amazing voice work. So what's happened so far in the game is we encountered Mary, who was tied up and was about to be blown up by the Joker. She says that he has kidnapped her son. We get a little menacing letter from him asking for like $5 million in a bounty, which obviously she doesn't have. And you know, we do, because we're Bruce Wayne, but we're gonna rely on our fists instead of solving problems with money. So we come back to the Batcave, and we give Barbara all the information that we found and leave her to do all of the actual detective work while we go work out. You know, that's gonna be a common theme in this game, is that Batgirl is doing all of the actual work. And it's just a tutorial here. They're teaching us how to use the stealth mechanic, which we do not incorporate very often in the actual speed run. But Bruce here, sorry, that's a spoiler. Bruce Wayne is Batman.
What?
We just had to get that out of the way. I'm sorry if I ruined that for anyone. But he loves that stealth mechanic and tries to get into it all of the time. So we might yell Bruce, and that's what's going on there. And here, we're learning one of the most important mechanics in the game, which is throwing yourself off of high things and catching sacks of flour that look like children. I promise that's gonna come in handy later.
Yeah, it will come up.
And after we get done with our workout that was narrated for us by a recording of Alfred, Barbara lets us know that something fishy is going on with Mary and her child, and we should probably get right over to her apartment and see what's going on. Which brings us to the rooftops level here, which is one of my favorite in the game, at least aesthetically, because if you've watched Batman the Animated Series, you'll see that it has like that amazing Gotham skyline, all of the Art Deco, like neo-noir vibes that the show is known for, and it's really fun to look at. So if you're ever playing through casually, it's a good one to just kind of wander around the rooftops and look at the skyline and, you know, pretend that you are Batman. And if anyone is ever interested in picking up this game, whether it be casually or you want to get into a run, you can always hit me up in Discord, anywhere on the internet, and I would love to get you started playing. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and we're eager for more players. Coming up here, they want us to like glide around these And I screwed up there just a little bit. Normally we would do what's called a rusty hop, named after one of our community members who was labbing this level out and realized that you don't have to glide. You can just do a hop, which I tried there and missed. Sorry, Rusty, but shout outs to Rusty. He's been great helping us come up with some techniques here. We're gonna take a little jump off a gargoyle, which is sometimes, I think, greased with butter. They do that in Gotham, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, the Joker hit every ledge.
At just every ledge. And here, we get to slide on our boots. And we're thinking like, what, soap shoes, right?
Yeah, shout out to Sonic.
It's gotta be. Yeah, Batman loves Sonic the Hedgehog, and so do we. All right, we're coming up here. We encounter a bad guy who has Mary tied up. He tells us, this isn't what you think, Batman. And instead of asking him any questions, we get straight to the punching. Because this is a speed run, after all. No time for questions. And this teaches us the handcuff mechanic, which is very handy for tying up, bad individuals. So Mary tells us, Joker has my son, and she gives us her child's pocket knife that says Toby on it. And so we're trying to rush to the rescue here and see if we can't help Toby out. Because I think being kidnapped by the Joker, not great, right?
Not ideal.
Looks like we got some pretty good RNG with those bad fellas there.
Yeah.
It can be kind of difficult to get through there if you're getting shot, and we have to use our batarangs to disable them, but we got lucky there. And we're gonna come up here and just try to do some acrobatics over the henchfolk here. Perfect. This is a funny part. If you aren't able to get the jump right over them, they have just a lot of scripted voice lines with who's there? Or, yeah, there we go, we got one. Cool. Who's out there? And he'll just repeat it over and over again. And we're coming up on the first fun trick of the run, so I'm gonna have to focus for a second here. Couch, you wanna talk about what's going on?
Yeah, so we're coming up on the first Joker fight here. What we're going to want to do is hit this Wrecking Ball, shoutouts to Miley Cyrus, this fight in one cycle with the batarangs. Usually we can get them all, and if we can't, it really stinks because the animations that play when you miss are really long. I'm going to see if we get it.
That's all right.
You're about to see how long this takes.
Nah, we only have to do the one cycle here. But it is really cool. We figured out that you can hit the Joker while he's moving there. And even if you're only able to get down a little bit of the health like this, we don't have to go through the full cycle because he'll come in and it's 2 more batarangs and he's done. And he throws Toby off the Wrecking Ball. So, like I said, sack of flour like a child. We have to jump off and catch him. And we're gonna skip through a cutscene here where we find out that Toby is literally a sack of flour. Mary has been Harley Quinn all the time, and now we have to do some punchies with the Joker. And there's about 3 cycles here where we'll do some punches, some kicks, skip some dialogue, and then one of the toughest bits of combat in the whole game. Chat, audience, if I could get you crossing your bat fingers to help me out here for that. I need all of the bat energy that we can get. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, I'm feeling it. Everyone's got their bat fingers crossed.
And this is a really tough combo here.
Oh, and you gotta use your mind powers. Perfect, thank you, chat. Sorry, that's a bit we always run on stream. I can't help it.
That was perfection, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. So what happens next is Joker slips off the bridge. He's hanging on for dear life. We try to help him. He reaches out for our hand, and he's got one of those electric buzzers, and it shocks us. We fall over. He falls to his death. Harley Quinn is so distraught that she throws herself off the ledge, and we have to do that catching mechanic again. She gives up her life of crime, walks into the sunset, and we get a call from Barbara that there's something funny going on at a lab in Gotham, and they're seeing big cold spikes. So no idea what that could be about. I guess the title card gives it away.
I still don't know.
You still don't know? Yeah, it could be anyone from Batman's Rogues Gallery, right? There's a lot of ice. It's cold. What do you guys think?
Could be the Penguin.
Penguin? That could be a good guess. In chat, if you have favorite Batman villains from the Rogues Gallery, we'd love to hear about that. And we come through here, we have to talk to Barbara on the phone, a lot of calling back and forth on the bat communicator. And we just try to get through this as quickly as possible, avoiding the, it is Mr. Freeze, who has the, I think, best trained and best paid hench people in the game. We really try to not engage with any of them. They're the best shots. I think they're the best trained at martial arts. And they can really slow down a run if you have to engage in hand-to-hand combat with them.
They also get 401ks.
Yeah, Victor Freeze offers a really good benefits package to keep them dedicated.
Really, I think he's probably one of the best villains. Here, we got to move pretty quick to get through a little bit of a cycle here. There's a moving platform that we want to try to hit. And I think we got it. Yes,
nailed it.
Perfect. And we just chill for a second here until we can jump off. There's an item here that we want to grab that gives us 3 nets. And, like they say, Batman plus preparation means he can beat anyone. So we do a little preparation for some upcoming combat to make it so that we don't have to engage with Freeze's henchfolk, because, like I said, they are very well trained and can take a while if we have to fight. So let's see here. We can bust out our nets. And hopefully they don't dodge. Perfect. Okay. Sometimes they will dodge the net and we only have 3, and that's very frustrating. We get the cool cutscene with some cool, evil lines from Freeze that, again, we skip through, because this is a speed run, and then we get to do the bat wiggle. It's wiggle, 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 wiggle. Come on, Bruce. Get your LMFAO on. Let's go. He does not want to cooperate. This is one of the most frustrating mechanics. There we go.
Bruce.
He listened to it. He's in his party rock anthem. We're coming up here on a little bit of a focus bit. So Meg, if you want to talk about this.
Yeah, so currently we are in the Freeze copter level, so we're chasing Victor Freeze, who's in his helicopter. We're in the, the bat plane.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we have to disable Victor's shield. So down in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see kind of that pinkish red circle around the icon. Once that has disappeared, that means that we have disabled his shield. So we'll chase him through the streets of Gotham. Not very safe. The FAA would not approve. And yeah, as we scroll this, if we have any donation we could read.
Oh, I've got a big honking donation I can read. You're getting a lot of love right now. We have $15 from Forrest G, who says, Joe, I remember watching you speedrun this years ago and thinking to myself, how did I even come close to finishing this when I was a kid? This game's impossible. I didn't really have any fond memories of it until you began streaming it. Now, between the incredibly supportive runners around it, your passion for the game and its source material, and watching the Joker get publicly humiliated repeatedly, which he deserves, he's a jerk, it's become a weird comfort. And now you're at the GDQ main stage showing all sorts of people this weird little speedrun gem, and it makes my heart sing seeing you accomplish a dream of yours. Thank you for showing me and many others a whole new side to this game. Best of luck in your run, and hopefully you won't have to explain why they call him Mr. Freeze in this game. Smiley face. Or no, it's a winky face. Sorry, gotta get that correct.
Oh, thank you, Forrest.
Thank you, Forrest.
Ah, shoot. Oh. See, we cause a lot of property damage here, and I really try to avoid it because I imagine the insurance premiums in Gotham gotta suck. But yeah, if there's anything else you have, Asuka, we're gonna couple more cycles here.
Oh, of course. We have $30 from Fragmented Humanity, who says, hey, Joe, greetings from right behind you.
Oh, no.
Can't believe Batman Vengeance is on the GDQ stage right now, and so honored to be commentating on the couch. Love you, man. Here's $10 for each invincibility glitch tube hit first try. Winky face.
Oh.
Bubba Gump Shrimp Crump.
Yes, there are going to be 3 invincibility glitches that we have to hit, and Fragmented Humanity behind me really believes, because we said for every one that I hit first try, all 3 of us are going to be donating $10 a glitch. So if anyone wants to join us, feel free.
Yeah, that's why I did it early. I have full confidence that you're going to hit all of them first try.
Thank you, man. All right, so we just have to get down the shield there. There we go. We blow up the copter, and you'll see kind of briefly a man being thrown out with a parachute. And that's going to be Isaac Evers, the scientist that we've been trying to hunt down that Freeze is menacing. We don't get to see the cutscene with him, but he is voiced by Mark Hamill as well, which is kind of cool that he has 2 voices and it's drastically different than the Joker. He's a very talented fellow. You know, and Luke Skywalker, right? And so here now we are investigating his cold lab. He told us that he has a grant from the Wayne Foundation for security, which we know isn't true. So something fishy is going on. We're about to do the most high-tech hacking sequence I've ever seen in a game. Meg, if you want to talk about that and the upcoming flashing lights warning, that would be great.
Yeah, so we're going to use this extremely accurate depiction of a series of tubes to hack the security systems here. And we have a flashing lights warning coming up. We'll mention it again in a second, but once that is over, we will let y'all know that it is safe to look again.
All right, we got the second one. That is what the internet is, right? Like tubes? That's how it was explained to me.
Yeah, it's not like a truck you can dump stuff on.
And lucky for me also, this is the same pattern every time. I do not know how I'd get through it if it wasn't. So yeah, coming up here is where the flashing lights are gonna start here in just a moment. And we are also coming up on the first of the invincibility glitches, if you want to talk about that, Couch.
Yeah, so this is probably the most important trick of the run here. Basically, we're going to take damage, and then right when Batman's death animation comes up, we're going to interrupt it with a first try. See,
Let's
what
go.
I tell you?
There we go.
You interrupt it with a guard from Batman's cape, and basically that just cancels the animation on the same frame that Batman would die. So now we don't take any knockback from any damage, and we don't take damage in general. But... and this is a big but.
Yeah, we do need to grab a little health pack that's tucked away here, because for some reason, if you don't grab the health pack and you go into the Mr. Freeze boss fight, the game will soft lock in a really hilarious way where it just never ends. Just Freeze shoots at you for all of eternity. I want to shout out our friend Tom for a moment here. He would have been on the couch with us if he didn't have a family vacation that conflicted, and that's his favorite little bit of trivia, the health pack. So, Tom, I hope you're having a great vacation with your family, and we love you, man. And it makes it really nice not having to deal with getting shot by all the freeze rays here. Because if you do get hit, you get put into the combat animation, and it's just a whole thing. So now we're coming up on the freeze fight, which I got to focus on.
Yes, so this is legitimately one of the harder fights in the game. What we're going to do and what Batman's going to do is use remote charges to detonate those large tubes
Victor.
in order to hit Victor Freeze over the head. Ideally, we want to hit him 4 times, although depending on how he is moving across the board, we might end up using more than that. You do have to kind of kite him along to keep him focused on Batman while staying out of arm's reach, or else he will grab him and then you go into kind of a fight.
Excellent
but
fight.
we got him right away.
Sorry to interrupt you, Meg. That was a perfect freeze fight. Holy moly. That has long been the bane of my existence. And here is the cutscene that we left in. Normally you have to do a little bit of setup before the run to cut all the cutscenes, but we wanted to leave one in just to kind of show you what the animation style looks like. And so what's happening here is the mayor is meeting with a mysterious figure in a trench coat while Batgirl watches, and she knows something strange is afoot here. And she's gonna give us a call as soon as it loads. There we go. Sometimes they'll do that to me, and I have the heart attack of like, oh no, the game's paused. It's just no. But so she calls us and lets us know that, hey, the mayor did something, and there's this guy in a trench coat. I don't know what's going on. And then her phone call gets cut short. We hear a scream of, Batman, they're not human, help. So we rush to the train where she is doing combat with the mysterious trench coat figure at the end. And so we have to try to get to her in a certain amount of time so that her health bar does not go down, which honestly I think is kind of a ridiculous concept because we all know that Batgirl can hold herself or hold her own against just about anyone. And you'll see here we're introduced to a new kind of foe that we have to fight. They're big, green, presumably plant monsters, which gives us a hint about another villain that might be causing mischief in Gotham. They're tough. You really don't want to get caught in hand-to-hand combat with them because they don't take any damage that way. You have to use electricity.
Yeah, so Joe will use electric batarangs to disable them. You can run into a problem where you use all of your electric batarangs, and that basically is a level reset because you can't progress any further forward.
Which is a bummer when you're on a world record pace on stream, let me tell you. It's just like, oh, oops, we have to start the train over because we are locked in a room.
So I will say with the pathing, you can technically go through each of the train cars instead of going up and over, but they do have a series of puzzles and things that you have to turn on and off, so it's just generally a lot faster to go up and over the roof if you can.
Yeah, and there's a couple that we can just go through right at the beginning, but we want to get to this last lever. I think this was a trick that was found originally by J-Man12, that you don't have to go do the whole puzzle. If you just get to the last one, it does all 4 locks at once, and that is way more convenient. So we'll get there where Batgirl is kicking the crap out of the person in the trench coat who jumps out of the train window into a waiting car, and then we hop in the Batmobile and we are introduced to my first ever experience with QuickTime events as a child, which was frustrating. Chris, I think you have some thoughts on QuickTime events here.
Yeah, so I actually have this whole ongoing theory that Resident Evil 4 borrows a ton of stuff from this game in particular, and this is definitely all true. Basically, QuickTime events were popularized, kind of in this era, and Resident Evil 4 is one of those games that really took it to the next level.
Yeah, so basically what we're thinking is, Batman walked so that Leon could run and what, Chris?
So Leon could run from a boulder, and then Chris Redfield could punch that boulder.
It tracks. Trust me, chat. So we got one more cycle of this. I'm just trying to get damage on the car, same style as the helicopter. So Asuka, if you have any host business, now is a great time.
Of course I've got host business. I've got host business in the form of a $25 donation from AMegPie saying, "Greetings to Joe from behind you. I'm so proud of you getting Batman Vengeance to the main stage. You're doing great."
Oh, thank you.
We also have another $25 donation from Grove Sleeper PNW who says, "Joe, it's so rad to see you at SGDQ. Congrats and good luck, dude.
Oh.
Helping the hurt and feeding the hungry are the greatest achievements IRL. How about some claps for the brave team behind Doctors Without Borders? Let's go, Joe."
Oh, thank you. And yes, lots of claps for Doctors Without Borders. They're amazing. And here, we're just going to fire smoke bombs indiscriminately into traffic. Sorry, traffic. Which makes the mysterious figure in the trench coat crash. And we can just come here. We have to investigate the crash. There is a freaky apple that looks like it has something. Orb! Something living in it. Which, surprise, surprise, Poison Ivy's up to no good again. Interesting little bit of trivia that if you are hanging out near that car and listening to the radio that's playing, the news anchor is going over all of the awful destruction that we have wrought upon Gotham in our quest for justice. It's really funny, like beat by beat breakdown of all of the trouble we caused on the highway and stuff. So, nice little extra they threw in there for us. And that was really nice. Sometimes the RNG on those plant monsters can be really tough. So we got through there nice and quick. And now we're going to use the stealth mechanic, which is Bruce's favorite, because we don't want to get a big hug from those sentient roots there. Normally, we're all about nice big warm hugs, but not when they're living plants and they slow down the speed run. And this is a really interesting level. I think aesthetically, they did a really cool job modeling it. There's a lot of freaky mushrooms we're going to platform over here, which are very slippery. But I think it's really cool and eerie and kind of creepy, and that was a bummer because they are very slippery and you can get poisoned here. But yeah, if we platform over these, it's going to take a couple seconds here. Asuka, if you've got another bit of host business to take care of.
How about a $50 donation from Metroid Hatchling who says, "Joe power at 1,000%. Cowabunga."
Oh, cowabunga. Thank you, Metroid. Good to see you.
And as a quick reminder, the Pet the Fox donation incentive for Bo Path of the Teal Lotus is already up to almost $1,400, that $5,000. It is inching closer and closer, so your time is going to be running out sooner than you think. So if you want to get that friend or that fox-shaped friend pet, exclamation point, donate in chat and put your donation towards that incentive.
Yes, we want to pet the fox.
It's such a cute fox.
And here we're using our soap shoes a little bit again. This is a very slippery area. Excellent. We did not get dumped in the acid there, which can happen quite a lot. We're going to do some platforming. Chris, you want to talk about that while I lock in?
Yeah, so this is actually a really tough bit of platforming. You can see that there are plants inside of each of these vats, and the ledges that we have to stand on here are pretty thin. As you can see here, Joe kind of glided just under it. Even when we get on those, they're really tough to line up. And then on top of it, you've got enemies shooting at you, so it's really tough. You can get grabbed by those and they'll pull you in. And if you get in there, it's an instant death. So Joe did a really good job there.
Whew, yeah, that always scares me. I suspect that Joker or someone has just been rubbing some kind of grease everywhere. One more here. Perfect.
Nice.
And we're going to skip past the poor mayor there. If this was the any percent runner, you're just running through casually, you go talk to the mayor and you confront the person in the trench coat that turns out to be a giant plant monster with a bushy head of red hair that looks kind of like that critter from the Looney Tunes, the green one. But we just leave the mayor to fend for himself. He'll be okay. And we're coming up again now on the Poison Ivy boss fight. I think, Chris, you have some thoughts here.
Yeah, continuing my Resident Evil 4 theory, this is pretty reminiscent of the Ramon Salazar fight in the castle of Resident Evil 4. And you can just look at how this is framed. This boss fight is just like it. They basically stole it from this game, further just reinforcing that. So
Yeah, cite your sources, Resident Evil. Come on.
You haven't destroyed my creation.
And thanks for laughing at that, Poison Ivy. Really appreciate it.
That was great timing. Poison Ivy thinks you're funny, bro. And she's got some great lines here. She'll just keep threatening us. The nature is a Hydra is a favorite of ours. And if you don't do the back grapple there, then the creature will just keep reviving itself. And it's really cool and kind of freaky, but we know how to get around it. And we skip a cutscene here. Lots of big explosions, electricity all around. And then we get the mayor an antidote for the creature that is growing inside his stomach. That was her plot, is she's giving rich executives and important people like the mayor growing plants inside them and then charging them a lot of money for the antidote. We help out there and we come up on the second invincibility glitch.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to try and go for the position here in front of the pillar. And it's the same mechanic as last time. The only sort of big struggle is that you do move around a little bit more. But hopefully Joe will get it here on the first try.
Nope.
Tough.
Okay.
And these Joker's Jack in the Boxes are something. If you have watched a lot of runs of this in a row or ran it a bunch in a row, this song will haunt you forever.
Yes. Apologies to the audience. You may hear these Jack in the Boxes in your head for an indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah, this is a soundtrack to my nightmares for sure.
There we go.
First try.
First try, right?
Nicely
You all saw
done.
it.
You all saw it.
It's another $10. Chris paid up front, man. That was first try.
I knew he would hit it.
And the reason that even going through a couple of those cycles is still worth it when you're doing a speed run in Gasworks is because all of the henchfolk here have these Tommy guns or other kinds of projectiles which will prevent you from turning the valves that you need to turn to get rid of the sewage that's blocking our path later. So if you're trying to get through it, it's worth it to get the invincibility glitch. Though the world record holder, shout out Agari, has done a couple of runs that I've seen where he just goes all the way through right up until the end before getting the glitch, which is very difficult and very cool. So we got the second one there. As you can see, the bullets are just flying, and there's also lots more Jack in the Boxes. It's a heck of a time. We get to use the grapple here, and I think this is the level that really illustrates why we'd want that glitch, because they're just everywhere firing bullets. And I think the developers wanted you to do the whole like cool Batman stealth thing where you go through and you disable each one individually and handcuff them and then turn the valves at your leisure. But you know, this is a speed run, so we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. We saw something pretty funny there, is that all of the NPCs here, if they're firing projectiles, can hit each other and hurt each other. So that guy had his gun knocked out of his hand by his friend. Here we have to do a little cape tech, because if you just try to drop straight down, it will hit like a death plane and auto kill you, which we don't want, so we gotta slow ourselves down a little bit with the cape. I think the intention there was to hop from platform to platform, which is pretty cool. They have a couple secrets hidden up there, some items that you might want if you were trying to do like 100% complete playthrough. They do hide secret envelopes throughout the whole game you can collect if you're a 100% completionist, and that's always fun. So we're coming up on something nefarious here. They're loading explosive jack-in-the-boxes into sewer pipes full of explosive material, and if we're lucky, we can get a little bit of a cut skip. Yeah, nice. There we go. Nice. What's really interesting in this game is for these like pseudo cutscenes, Batman can be moving the whole time, and unfortunately his movement is very erratic when one of those is playing and doesn't quite make sense. But we tried to make use of him here just to kind of cut the animation of those pipes moving. Let's see if we can get a second one. Bruce. Nope, I imagine he's hiding in the corner.
Ah, Bruce.
Yeah, he goes into his little stealth movement there a lot. He's scared. Guns are scary. Let's see if we can get the third one, though, here. And this one will let us do a barber skip, too, if we can get it.
Come on, Bruce.
No, he's hiding. But that's okay. It really doesn't save that much time. It just feels cool to be able to move during cutscenes, you know? Yeah, but so we get our back grapple here, and we're going to come up on a series of 3 valves that we have to turn this. There's 3 valves.
Yeah, so this is actually another one of those cool secrets in this game. This is actually a reference to Valve software, and there are 3 valves because Half-Life 3 is never going to come out.
Womp womp. We thought that was very hilarious in the practice room at 3 a.m. the other day.
Yeah, absolutely slayed us all.
And unfortunately, this is one of those ones with the valves. You have to wait for all 3 of those pipes to turn, and it's very frustrating. But once that's over, we just breeze past this guy, pull a little lever here, and then jump to save Isaac Evers, the scientist who is tied up, and he informs us, oh, I'm not trying to blow up Gotham City. I'm just trying to do insurance fraud, man. I don't know what's going on. So we carry him out to the police, and as we're handing him over to our friend Commissioner Gordon is smacked in the face by a batarang, which doesn't come from anywhere near where we are standing, handing him this criminal. But the Gotham PD does not see it that way, and they call out all of the stops to try to catch us for incapacitating their boss, which, you know, may be fair. Maybe a bit of an overreaction. So we have to go across all of these rooftops while a SWAT helicopter is chasing us and firing these disabling electricity rounds that are very frustrating. They hurt physically and they hurt emotionally. It hurts my feelings when I get stopped by them during a run. But, you know, they're doing their jobs, I guess. This is a really fun level, too, if you're exploring and you want to explore the Gotham skyline. Lots of hidden items and cool things for you to find, and lots of different enemies to avoid. But we don't see any of that because we're speedrunners. This is definitely a game I think worth playing through all the way if you just want to do it casually, or if you want to see the cutscenes. They're all on YouTube, and they're very fun. It's just like Batman the Animated Series, but they do it in kind of like a weird 3D style that still matches up really well, which is nice. We get to do some fun little hops, skips, and jumps here. Our soap shoes once again, and you can catch kind of a little speed boost if you jump out of that slide, which is fun. And you really want to try to avoid getting shot by the helicopter with the electricity while you're on the ladders. Bruce, that is the wrong rooftop. Come on, Bruce. It's therapeutic to yell at Bruce here. There we go, and we want to punch the electricity boxes, ideally without getting shocked, because we're trying to preserve as much as our health as we can here as we cross a beautiful sky bridge that reminds me of where we are now in Minneapolis. I got to explore a lot of sky bridges, and I think that's very cool.
Perfectly executed helicopter hallway.
It doesn't look hard, but you have to like really get your left stick in the right spot there, because if you stumble for even a moment, you get tagged. And then you're basically just stuck in the hall for a little bit, taking damage. Nobody wants that. And we come up through here where there's a bunch of steam shooting out. Interestingly, you could get the invincibility glitch here if you wanted. Unfortunately, we found that during the helicopter fight at the end, it will soft lock the game again, and we haven't found a way out of that.
Never didn't have it.
Never didn't have it. We're going to get shocked, though, for almost not having it. And then we are on an elevator that takes forever, kind of like certain hotels that I've been in. So if you have any host business, Asuka, this is a great time while we chill out.
As always, $15 from Adam saying, "Hi, Joe. Ned and I sending love from home. Looks like you were able to convert to full Nocturnal for the run. Excellent run so far. Best freeze fight we have ever seen you do live. Gotham might have some doctors that have ulterior motives, but we want to support most of them IRL. Thanks for helping out Doctors Without Borders, and congrats on spreading love for one of your favorite games of all time. We love you and Fragmented Humanity and MegPie, both on the couch behind you."
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Ned. I hope you all are doing well. Oh,
Love you guys.
Pet Petra for me.
Aw.
Petra's a very adorable German Shepherd.
Oh, yay. That's so fantastic. And you can also pet a fox in an upcoming incentive. Don't forget about that. We are at 1630 of $5,000. So if you want to see that in Bowpath, the Teal Lotus, put your donations towards that incentive. We have $50 from Crazy Descent, who says $50 for a great speed run and the heartfelt tribute to Kevin Conroy. I'll have to check out this game myself.
Heck yeah.
Of course. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. One thing that we skip over a little bit here is in a lot of the runs, if you're watching me stream online or if you've seen any others, we'll take an intentional death a couple seconds ago, which resets the helicopter's pathing. Which is a really cool trick that was found by our friend Ratton, who has traded the record back and forth with me a couple of times. Super cool guy, runs Minority Report. Everybody runs for the GameCube most of the time, but we are feeling a little risky here. So, we have the bat belief that we can get through the helicopter fight without taking the intentional death. But I wanted to make sure to point that out and shout out Ratton. And yeah, we're a little above half health, which I'm feeling fine. Couch, you feeling good about this?
Yeah, we got this.
All right, we're coming up against the fight with the helicopter here, so time to bat lock in.
Yeah, so what Joe's going to do is the Gotham PD helicopter has kind of 5 points that we're going to want to hit with those remote charges. We're going to begin with some more of those stun charges that we've been hit with several times. But once Joe disables those, they resort to missiles, which seems like kind of a major overreaction to someone accidentally hitting Commissioner Gordon with a batarang. But who am I to judge?
I don't even know how they got missiles that big on this little helicopter, but... And you'll see that the helicopter's hitboxes on these are liars. It'll turn red and you'll hit it, and sometimes it doesn't always work out. Feeling good about this one. There we go. Oh, that was a very nice helicopter fight. That one stresses me out. And we are thrown from the rooftop, and we hit the cement, and Batgirl rolls up in the Batmobile and saves our bacon once again. Thank you, Barbara. And a thing that happens in the story that we don't get to see because we're skipping the cutscenes is that's actually where a flashback started.
Oh no, we didn't write down the RNG seed for this one.
Dude,
do you know the code?
I thought you had it.
619.
619? Are you sure?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Just kidding. We already know.
It's the same every time, thankfully. That's a really cool level, actually. If you're doing just a casual playthrough, there's a bunch of statues that you have to investigate and get the numbers from and try all the different combinations. It's very detective-y. We are undercover as a character known as Man in a Suit with a Beard and a Scar, who jumps and fights just like Batman, but is definitely not Batman. So, that's very cool. Nobody knows who we are, I'm sure, because, Batman has all kinds of disguises, right?
Yeah, if you actually write out Man with Beard and a Scar and then reverse all the letters, it spells Bruce Wayne, and that's how we knew.
I trust you. I think that's right. That sounds right.
Yeah, please do not check.
We're coming up here on a kind of frustrating, timed puzzle where, again, I think they wanted you to do the kind of creeping around, individually disable each of these turbo mimes, we like to call them, because they have a lot more health than the other mimes, and just can be a real pain. But, you know, we're speedrunning, so we're just trying to avoid them. And man with beard and scar in nice suit has really nice hops here. So, and getting tagged by them can really stink because they will hold you up for a while here. But I think we're doing good. There's the real short sequence on getting those levers. So we're gonna come up and we're about to face off with my least favorite goon that we like to call Benny. Benny, please be nice. It's SGDQ, man. Yes, I think that was good. No, Benny, come on.
Spoke too soon.
And they will pull you right out of that animation where we're trying to open the thing here. So we gotta hang out. He just missed us. That's all, chat.
He's very loving,
So
very possessive.
shout outs to Benny here. Oh, I love you too, man. But we're really trying to like advance the plot here, brother. Here we go. And it is kind of cool, actually, I think, when we do get to fight as man in beard with nice suit and scar, because you get to really see the like martial arts there. But not too much of a time loss there, which is nice. We open up that cabinet and we find the pocket knife from earlier that says Toby on it that Joker took when he fell to his doom. So I guess that clues us into the fact that, you know, Joker's not dead. Surprise? Is anyone surprised?
Astonished.
I'm so astonished. And we're coming up against the third invincibility glitch here. So time to bat lock in again.
Yeah, so this invincibility glitch goes faster, which is good because you have two people hitting you with flamethrowers instead of just one. The hard part is that the flamethrowers are really unpredictable. As you can see, they kind of shut off and turn on, and there isn't a good predictable sequence.
No. That'll happen when only one fires, and you can't really see it probably on the screen here, but there will be an infinitesimal sliver of red still in the health bar. That's okay. They are quick. I bet they're going to cooperate this time. Come on, Turbo Mimes.
I love turbo mimes.
Turbo mimes now with flames.
With flame action.
All right.
There we go.
First try.
First try,
First
obviously.
try.
That's another $10. And then we're going to do something very un-Batmanly and let them burn themselves to sleep instead of having to deal with the whole combat of the Turbo Mimes who have the largest health bars ever. I said we're going to let you burn yourself to sleep. Thank you. There we go. We hop down. Yes, and we, oh, it almost worked here. If you hit your first person like view right when you hit the ground, we can move while we're talking to Barbara, which again feels really cool. Doesn't save a ton of time, but we like feeling cool. We're playing a superhero game. And we're gonna come up here on what normally would be a pretty like intense cutscene with the Joker. And if you had gotten the invincibility glitch during the any % run, where we got it here for New Game Plus, when you get to this cutscene, it will soft lock. And the cutscene plays, and then it opens up with you behind a pillar, and you just can't move, which is very frustrating if you weren't expecting that and trying out the glitches. But we'll get this health pack for good luck here. And again, we're gonna come up on 3 valves.
Yep. These 3 valves are actually a reference to how Left 4 Dead 3 is never coming out.
Dude, it could. You just gotta believe. And again, we wait for these very rusty pipes to do their thing here. And this whole time, what's going on is the Joker is like menacing Gotham from a blimp now, we think.
Standard choice vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, and Oscar, if you have a quick bit of host business here while we get to the confrontation, feel free.
Sure, $30 from Ratton, who says, your love for Batman Vengeance is contagious, Joe. Thank you for getting me into it and making the community what it is today. So happy to see this technical speedrun finally showcased on the big stage. Congrats again, and let's see some more sick movements and hear more corny lines. Nature is a hydra. No. Big support from Amsterdam.
Oh man, thank you, Radden. It's so good to hear from you, dude. And here, if you are doing the any percent run and you didn't get the invincibility glitch before, you could do it on this this guy here. The coolest runners will pull like a green arrow and throw from across the map, but I do not have the eyes for that. So we always get the invincibility glitch. We take care of that bad person, and we are now in Joker's blimp, where there is a series of lasers and puzzles, and we're gonna have to very carefully navigate through and pull all these levers. And I mean, not really, we're speedrunners. We're just gonna try to get a nice little damage iframe here and go up the ladder without getting shocked again, almost.
Yes,
we're fine. Yeah, we got up here. And this would be a final confrontation with the Joker, but it's New Game Plus, and we have the key he drops already. So we just try to knock that gun out of his hand, and we skip the whole thing and go into a pretty boring puzzle where I think Couch is going to go ahead and do their shout-outs so we can get those done.
Yeah, I just had a couple shout-outs here. I wanted to thank all the goblins back home. A lot of you are staying up to watch with us. Thank you so much. I want to thank Cryptic and Calithian in the repair booth downstairs who 3D printed me a piece for my luggage case that fixed it. That was incredible. Thank you so much for doing that. And I want to thank, most of all, GDQ staff and anybody that ran events here. You made probably one of the best weeks of my life. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'll second the shout out to GDQ staff. This is our first time on stage. You all have been incredible, and this has been an amazing experience. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of the artists contributing to the Artist Alley. There's some incredible stuff out there. We have bought way more merch than we really know how to get home, so that's a challenge for later.
Wonderful stuff.
But yeah, it's been awesome.
All right, and so this puzzle is basically just, if you paid attention to the color wheel when you were in like first, third grade or whatever it was, you can get through it. We need to make some purple and green. Those are Joker's favorite colors. So we get that, and then instead of being taken into jail by Batman, Joker throws himself off the blimp, and we have to try to save him. Orb. So there's gonna be 3 hits on the Joker here, ideally, and then we catch him after the 3 hits, and when we catch him, that will be time. Let's see if he cooperates. 1 hit. Jonker. 2 hits. Oh, no, okay, we're gonna catch him here. And that is almost, we overshot him. Come on, time.
GG.
All right. Whew, thank you. I have some quick shout outs as well. I'm, again, MTGJoeD. You can find me on Twitch or anywhere on the internet, really, at that name. I do video essays on YouTube. If you're into that sort of thing, it's youtube.com/MTGJoeD. I just want to shout out Asuka for being such a wonderful host. Thank you. And the Vengeance community, J-Man12, Rusty, Cameron, Ratton, Agari, who currently holds the world record. Shout out. Thank you all for helping me lab this game out. I also want to do a special shout out to the Midwest Speedfest crew and everyone I met there in 2023. That was the first viewing of this game in a live performance, and you really inspired me to keep going with it. Thank you all so much. And Tippy, Asuka, and Conception for having me with Vengeance on their hotfix shows. That was a blast each time. Adam and Tom, you might not have been able to travel to the couch, but you're in our hearts. We love you so much. My parents, who I'm pretty sure don't know anything about what speedrunning is, but are very supportive anyway, thank you. Shout out to all the goblins, the Driz fam, Forrest, Skinner, Metroid Hatchling, and everyone who has supported me through the many thousands of run attempts over the past 5 years with this game. I just want to say thank you to my couch, Chris and Meg. It means so much to me that you're here with me.
Love you, man.
Doing this, I love you too. And most of all, and I think this is most important, I really want to thank the GDQ staff for allowing us to come up here and showcase my favorite game in a way that supports Doctors Without Borders, because this is a fun, silly superhero game where we get to be like a fake hero, but Doctors Without Borders is comprised of real heroes that are doing really important work, and it is an absolute honor to get to play a small port and supporting them. Just thank you all so much. Thank you for watching. I'll be walking around if you want to talk more about Batman Vengeance. Thank you.